me.
How's it going, barkeep? Serve me up an ice-cold Coors Light, would ya? These are 14 words that I've yet to legally say in my life. The minimum legal drinking age, or MLDA, of the United States is 21. In 1984, Congress passed the National Minimum Drinking Age Act. This didn't necessarily change the national drinking age to 21, but it did state that if states didn't raise their drinking age to 21, that they would withhold 10% of federal transportation funds. So states didn't really have much of a choice. By 1995, the last state to change their drinking age was Louisiana. I commend Louisiana for such a valiant effort. Even though the drinking age is now 21, I believe that it should be lowered back to 18 because other countries have drinking ages of 18. It would actually be safer in the long run. And if you're considered adult at 18, why can't you drink? The first thing I would like to point out is all the crazy drinking laws in our country. While I was doing some research, I found that there are a total of 41 states that actually allow underage drinking in the right circumstances. 29 states allow it in private, non-alcoholic selling premises with parental consent. 7 allow it on private, non-alcoholic selling premises without parental consent. 21 allow it for medical purposes. 4 allow it for government work-related purposes. 13 allow it for educational purposes. 3 allow it when reporting medical need due to underage drinking for another minor. And 10 allow it on alcohol selling premises with parental approval. The state profile of underage drinking laws by each individual state backs all these facts up. Now you might be sitting in there and thinking, holy crap, is Kansas on this list anywhere? And yes, Kansas actually did make the list in one of those categories. Kansas is one of 10 states that allows underage drinking on alcoholic selling premises with parental approval. So if you're going to dinner with your parents and you wanted to drink, as long as your parents are okay with it, you can actually order anything you want to drink, and it's absolutely legal. I wouldn't actually try this, though, unless you have a printed out copy of the law and show it to your server, because it is absolutely far-fetched that something like this could go unnoticed. With all these crazy laws, I think it would just be a lot easier if we just went ahead and lowered the drinking age to 18. Then there wouldn't be any confusion at all. The majority of Europe is known pretty well for being a continent where, for the most part, the drinking age is 18. With the exception of 3 countries, Iceland and sort of Norway and Sweden, they're kind of weird about it. Every country in Europe has a drinking age of 18 or even lower. The lowest drinking age in Europe is 12, but actually there aren't even drinking laws in some countries. Europe is a continent that has been civilized longer and is more cultured than the United States, and their laws are more relaxed. So why isn't our drinking age 18 like theirs? Some people say that Europe has a better public transportation system than we do. So I say, why not fix our supposed, public transportation problem? Big cities like New York City, Chicago, Boston, and Los Angeles have subways, taxis, and buses out of the wazoo. So why can't our city have buses in strong supply that can take people to where they need to go to? I've actually never ridden on a bus in Wichita, though, so maybe I can't really say anything about it, but I digress. If America is such a progressive country, why is it that our drinking laws are so stringent compared to the rest of those in the world? The thing that makes these European countries so much safer really is the transportation. But I believe that in a whole it would be safer to lower the drinking age to 18. There are experts like Barrett Seaman that are saying that just because the drinking age is 21 doesn't mean that 18-year-olds aren't getting their hands on it. And it's a very true statement. Barrett Seaman wrote a book, Binge, What Your College Students Won't Tell You, where he assesses the current drinking age. He spent 2 years over 12 different colleges and says that drinking right now is seen as the proverbial forbidden fruit among teens. This forbidden fruit makes teenagers want to drink more and they want to drink fast. If someone underage gets their hands on some alcohol, they might not know when they'll be able to drink again. So they'll try to load up as much as possible. With this feeling, they will drink as much alcohol as possible, end up binging in an extremely unhealthy way. Binge drinking is defined as encyclopedia.com says it is 5 or more drinks in a row on a single occasion. When I say these teens get a hold of this alcohol and binge drink, I'm talking about a lot more than just 5 drinks. With the lower drinking age, teens wouldn't have to worry about getting alcohol again because they can get it whenever they want. So I believe this would result in a fall in binge drinking, and it would occur, and less deaths by binge drinking would occur. Another downside to I guess this is a little graph of binge drinking. The dark is male, the light is female, and this is currently people drinking within the last month between the ages of 12 and 20. And this is binge, and that's heavy binging. It's, I don't know. Another downside to the drinking age being 21 is the fact that all these teens are now going underground with their drinking. The drinking is still taking place, but it's in an unmonitored and uncontrolled setting. If the drinking age were 18, these teens would come out from their holes and drink in public places like restaurants, bars, and clubs where there are actually adults present. I believe that if these 18-year-olds were to be around other adults in their 30s who are responsible drinkers, they would learn by example, and they themselves would become more responsible drinkers because of it. My third point brings us to the responsibilities and rights that an 18-year-old has in our society today. Currently, an 18-year-old can vote, serve on jury, get married, sign a contract, join the military, and be prosecuted as an adult. So even if I have the right to legally hold a gun in my hands, go over to